Welcome to Recently Logged, where we're once again having mild drug references in our episodes. So, yeah.
For kids.
For the kids. No, this podcast is not intended for children.
This podcast isn't for kids, and this movie isn't for kids.
Whoa.
So...
Is it rated R or something?
Well, no, but PG-13 isn't for, like, kids. It's for teens.
I know, but usually when people are like, it's not for kids, bro.
It's not for kids. Yeah.
But yeah, hey everyone, we're back after our 1 week hiatus, and I sound like
it was Thanksgiving.
I sound like I'm gonna die.
You do sound a bit like you're gonna die, or maybe it just makes your voice more soothing.
My voice. No, I have like that vocal fry thing going now.
No, it's just deeper.
Just deeper. Yeah. So I'm drinking tea instead of coffee.
Which is very disappointing for our longtime podcast listeners.
Longtime podcast listeners. I'm no longer chugging coffee every episode. Now I'm drinking tea, hoping that'll, 1, help my voice, 2, help my allergies, which are probably the reason my voice is like this. That reminds me, I need to take some allergy medicine later.
Yeah, probably.
And speaking of allergy medicine,
we're
gonna be talking about a new movie, a new release.
Yes,
well, it's like a month old now.
Yes.
but
shall I go over the basic facts?
Well, are we gonna say what it is?
Well, I will.
All right,
go over the basic facts.
Go over the basic facts. See if I care.
All right. Today we are talking about Run 2020. It is a 2020 movie.
Oh my gosh. The 2020 is not part of the title.
The 2020 is not part of the title. It's PG-13. It's 90 minutes. I've been requested to read the little
plot blurb.
IMDb thing that's usually just a sentence. A homeschooled teenager begins to suspect her mother is keeping a dark secret from her. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Its cast has the likes of Sarah Paulson, Kira Allen,
Heck yeah,
Sarah Sohn, Pat Healy, and just a little tidbit of fun information.
Good old Pat Healy, my man.
Right? Pat Healy. A little tidbit of information. Let me find the specific thing. Yeah. Okay, so Kira Allen, who plays Chloe, is a wheelchair user in real life, which
IRL?
makes her the first major thriller star to use a wheelchair since the 1948's The Sign of the Ram.
Wow. So it's been a little while.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, yeah.
Directed by Aneesh Chaganty, written by Aneesh Chaganty and Sev Ohanan.
Ohanan?
I
don't know.
Something like that.
Also the writer and producer for Searching.
And
it's the same duo.
Chaganty
Yeah.
is the director of Searching.
Yeah, same duo.
Of Searching as
same
well.
writer, producer, director duo as Searching.
Yeah, this is their second movie.
Second movie.
We actually talked about Searching on the podcast.
Heck yeah,
you can go listen to that episode.
Do it. I dare you.
Nothing but Aneesh on the podcast.
If I double dog dare you, will you do it?
Oh my gosh.
Well, do we want to get into our basic thoughts for this movie, Micah?
Yeah, I feel like that would be a good idea.
Oh wow. Okay. So who do you want to go first, Micah?
Do I want to go first?
I don't know. Do you? That's why I'm asking. I
Sure.
can't read your brain, Micah.
Sure, I'll go first. I'll go over my basic thoughts.
Very basic,
as we call this.
We don't want to dissect the whole movie, but we want to know what you think, Micah.
Well, according to my 10-page script that's sitting over
Oh my gosh.
I really liked Run. I think it's one of my favorite of the year so far, but that's not actually that hard
Not
to do.
very hard.
With 2020.
What has come out in 2020?
I've really liked Aneesh's directing from what I've seen. He does a lot with the little that he has, be it on a computer screen or just with a low budget and like a tiny space with a small cast. And I think what he accomplished is really good. I don't think it's perfect. I think some of the story structuring is a bit weird. Not that it feels long, but that it feels short, really. Like, I feel like there could have been or should have been more to the movie. And I mean, it has a short runtime. It's 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, but like also I just wish it was a little longer and had a little bit more time to maybe set up more stuff, get more tension, do more things with its concept. Because I feel like it's a pretty big jump from like part to part to part.
Okay. Yeah, I also really liked Run. It's in my top 5 of the year, barely. It is number 5 on my list.
Hold on, let me check where it's at in mine.
But
Oh yeah, it's in my top. Oh wait,
is
no,
it
it's,
number
oh no, we chopped it.
Aw.
I put it below his house.
Okay. Well, that's fair enough. I have it below his house too. I just don't have Hamilton on my list.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I think if we're talking Aneesh movies and Mr. Chaganty movies.
Oh yeah, which one do you like better?
I'm gonna say Searching is still my favorite. Not by much though. They're both still really solid.
I would agree that I like Searching better, but I would say they're pretty equal on like filmmaking.
I was about to say filmmaking wise, they're pretty evenly keeled, but they're almost completely different movies.
Yeah, I think what Searching
other than
does
being thrillers
is really unique.
Yeah. Searching is crazy good. It's
Go watch Searching.
And Run. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I thought the 2 leads were fantastic. I wrote in my original Letterboxd review the first time I watched it that these were probably my favorite performances of the year, and I think I'll probably still stand by that. There's
here we go. I've pulled this up to quote.
All right.
Still have a bit of 2020 to go, but these might be my favorite performances of the year.
Yeah. No, that
Robbie Greyway on Letterboxd.
Robbie Greyway on Letterboxd. But yeah, no. Since then, I have also watched a female-led thriller, and that might be my favorite performance of the year too.
Well, you haven't watched Tenet.
I haven't watched Tenet. Is it a fantastically acted movie, Micah?
Dude, it's got Robert Pattinson.
Oh my gosh. I haven't seen him in anything outside of Harry Potter, Micah. So
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no. I also agree with Micah. It's not perfect, but honestly, its first 2 acts are super duper fun.
Yeah, no, it's a fun movie for
and
sure.
Like this would be a great movie night movie for like a group of people.
Yeah, and I didn't mention this, but I would mention this here because it's shorter and the structure I think it's not perfect. It actually helps it more because it's short. Like if this was long.
Oh no, if this was long, it would be
bad structure.
I don't know. It would be a lot worse if it was much longer than this.
Like if you're gonna if a movie's not going to be 100% perfect, which no movie is going to be, but specifically in something where I feel like pacing and stuff goes into it, I'd much rather the movie be shorter and doing, still like really good with what it has than like really long.
No, I like short movies a lot. And this is a good short movie. Yeah. Honestly, I think the biggest problem I have with it is just the third act being a little shaky in a lot of ways, not just like story wise or pacing wise. But yeah, no, that's the main problem I have with it. Honestly, really solid performances, really solid direction.
No, I love the performances and the directing.
Great editing too.
Oh yeah, the editing is
really good blocking.
No, like the filmmaking.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good stuff here. But yeah, no. Really, honestly, the biggest problem I have with it is a couple of pacing things near the end and a couple of like story beats near the end, and that's about it.
Well, then I guess we don't even have to go into it.
I guess that's it. Well, the end.
Well, bye guys.
Bye guys.
Hope you enjoyed our quick 10-minute podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, no, really like it. You guys should go watch it if you have Hulu. Or even if you don't have Hulu, you should go get a Hulu subscription and watch it. I'm not telling people to pirate movies. Is that where you thought I was going with that, Micah?
I did.
Why are you a criminal?
You wouldn't
criminal
steal a car.
You wouldn't steal a car. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Well, yeah. That's our basic thoughts.
Basic thoughts. Now let's move into discussion.
The discussion. So, Micah.
Yes.
What did you think would be a good question to kick the segment off with.
Oh my gosh. Fine.
You like that? I thought it was pretty good.
You know what?
What?
Fine. I have a good question.
All right, do it.
Favorite scene or sequence?
Okay. Wow. Oh wow. All right. We're gonna say. What are we gonna say?
What are we gonna say?
There's so many good ones actually. Like,
yeah,
a lot of memorable ones.
And again, this is another one of those movies where there isn't like it isn't like an action movie or something where there's specific like set pieces to stand out.
Although there are set pieces in this.
Yeah, there are
stand out.
Yeah, but I'm saying like overall, like it's not like structured and built to have like this scene stand out and then this scene stand. Like, if that makes sense.
There are lots. There are lots of good scenes in this movie.
No, there's a lot.
Honestly,
I think the title card is my favorite scene. The title card is sick. I love that title card.
Honestly, I might have to go with the hospital sequence, but it would be pretty close, like the climactic hospital sequence.
Not the opening.
Yeah, not the opening. Yeah, either the climactic hospital sequence or the Burj Khalifa scene.
For some context on that.
Anyone who's seen the movie knows.
Well, yeah,
what
but
I'm
for
talking
people
about.
who haven't, the context of that is there's a roof scene. She's crawling around the roof, but in Aneesh Chaganty's
They shoot it like it's the Burj Khalifa.
Aneesh Chaganty's little letterbox thing says his inspiration for that scene was Ghost Protocol, and said he wanted to, even though he could not put her on the Burj Khalifa, he wanted to make it feel like she was on the Burj Khalifa.
And it does, bro. When she starts slipping off, I'm like,
you're like,
oh. Yeah, no.
Also, that scene is just just looks painful. Having spent the limited time on roofs that I have,
bro, roof tiles are so painful. Like, what?
Pain.
Maybe that's why animals don't want to be on top of the roof. They're just like, bro, why would they do this?
All right. Well, I actually had one of these. I was thinking about it last night while we were watching. I think my favorite scene would probably be the wake up in basement, find out like the past scene. It's so good.
That scene is
so
really good too.
That's like the big standout scene in my mind with this. But like the hospital climax scene is good. Like there's
it's all good. In conclusion, it's all good.
Like
yeah, no, that's a good pick. I wish I would have thought of that, because that might actually be my number 2. We'll do top 3. Top 3. Hospital.
I think one scene I think one scene that I wish was actually a little different. I think it's a good scene, but I don't know. I feel like I was expecting something different from it.
It didn't meet your expectations, Micah.
Was when
it subverted your expectations.
No, it didn't subvert the expectations. It just didn't go exactly how I thought it would. When Mr. Mailman finds Chloe,
please,
and then the mom comes up, and then I really was I was really hoping like just like a pew.
You wanted her to shoot him, but that would shatter her image, Micah. She couldn't do that.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I was just like, man, that's kind of underwhelming. Okay, but then also I have a comment.
Okay.
To Aneesh. This one goes out.
This one goes out to you and your.
And any production design team on the movie.
Okay.
Why the heck was the blood from this man so bright? Did you see it on the sleeve? That looked like red paint. I mean, I'm sure it was red paint, but it looked so much like red paint.
Micah.
That took me out of the movie.
I didn't even notice, really.
Dude, it's like this, like the brightest red you've ever seen on her sleeve, and she's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "No, that's paint, Chloe."
Wow, she fell into a bucket of paint. That's the big action set piece.
He's just resting.
He's resting. Oh my gosh. I will forever equate that to a Gravity Falls reference.
Right? No, that's all. He's just resting.
He's resting.
All I have is Mabel's voice.
Yes. But yeah, no. No. There are the moral of the story is there are very, very very good choices for like best scenes.
All right, I have another question, but I don't know if you have one.
Yeah, I do have a question.
Whoa.
What did you think? What'd you think of the cast? Like chemistry between them, individual performances,
No,
that sort of thing. What did you think?
The cast is pretty small. It's really just them
it's like 7 people or
it's
something.
really just them two as the main cast.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really good. I thought the actors or the actresses rather did a really good job.
First of all, how dare you?
I feel like they had enough chemistry in the beginning that it was believable that they were like, had a mother-daughter relationship, but also like what's her face is creepy enough that
I love how fun it feels in the beginning.
Right?
It's so good.
And also like just for Kira Allen specifically, I love that they cast somebody who is actually in a wheelchair, and I think not only is it cool just because diversity in casting,
exactly,
but also like you don't get that kind of cool performance in a wheelchair from somebody who's like learning to use a wheelchair just for the role.
And like it would have been like the performance is so like kinetic because she can always move it like so precisely.
Yeah, she moves like the wheelchair because she's used the wheelchair so much.
Exactly.
The wheelchair and I don't know if any of you like know what I'm talking about, but like when you use a wheelchair that much, you move like you are one with the wheelchair.
You become one with the wheelchair.
And your movements are very precise and very energetic, and I thought that was awesome. Also, apparently, I just learned about this today from Robbie from an interview, I think, with Aneesh that happened.
Oh, yeah.
That they actually showed her the script when they got the movie, and
when they signed her on,
had her like make any changes to the fact like of somebody actually in a wheelchair.
Yeah, no, it was Letterboxd's interview that they did with him back when it first released, and he talked about how she made a lot of changes to like some of the lines, a lot of the geography of the house, that sort of thing.
Which I think is awesome.
It is very awesome.
And Aneesh Chaganty is the coolest director working right now.
We stand a king, Mike. Is that what you're trying to say?
Pretty much. Like. Anyway.
Yeah.
What about you, Robbie?
Oh, of the performances?
Yeah, your question for the performances.
I literally said at the beginning, this is probably some of my favorite performances of the year. Probably some of my favorite performances in a thriller.
Of the decade.
Of the decade, no. Just in a thriller.
Yeah, no, I'd probably agree with that. Especially a PG-13 thriller.
Yeah, especially a PG-13 thriller.
Because, woof.
But yeah, no. It's absolutely insane. I like this cast is pretty much perfect.
Yeah, no,
I had no complaints.
And also, a fun fact I learned while we were paused: Sarah Son, or however you say her last name. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. I didn't actually recognize her in the movie, and I'm depressed about this. But I recognized her picture on Letterboxd. It's the mom from Searching.
Heck yeah,
which is very cool.
I didn't recognize her either. Mike. I don't feel too bad.
And speaking of actor cameos, I think it's time we talk about the greatest scene objectively.
Oh my gosh.
In the whole movie.
The greatest objective scene in Run 2020.
Yes. So, for some background here, Searching, fish and chips. Yes, that's all the background you need.
If you have seen Searching, fish and chips.
And then on the college page, boom, fish and chips.
Fish and chips.
She is there. Fish and Chips makes a cameo in the movie.
Okay, when I first watched this, I on my now watching tweet, I tagged the actress and I said thank you.
She needs to be in all of Aneesh's movies. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. Plus, Aneesh, please keep making movies.
Yes,
we want you to.
So don't go back to working for Google. They don't need you.
You're too good for them. No, I was gonna make a quick comment. After seeing the Letterboxd list, which I will link, I'm gonna link the interview that Letterboxd did with him, as well as his list that he did for them in the description of the podcast. But after seeing that, it's easy to see how he's such a big M. Night Shyamalan fan.
Yeah.
Especially with this movie, more so than Searching.
You definitely feel Shyamalan influence in this. Which isn't inherently a bad
no,
thing.
exactly.
If you take that Shyamalan influence and actually make a good movie.
I was about to say, Shyamalan is very good at a lot of things, and then not so good at a lot of things.
Yeah. He's done some, in my opinion, really good movies, but he's also, like, he's got a lot of problems in a lot of his movies.
But this movie has the same kind of efficiency screenplay-wise as a Shyamalan movie would.
It's definitely got the same vibes as a Shyamalan
definitely some vibes.
You needed it a little bit more twist-oriented.
Yeah, I was about to say, if this was a big twist, you could have just signed.
I mean, there is a big twist.
I mean, yeah,
it's
but
just...
if there was if it was hinged upon its twist,
yeah, if it was hinged upon its twist, then you could pretty much
just get M. Night Shyamalan.
Be like, yeah, Shyamalan.
I don't know if it probably wouldn't have been better. I don't know. I'm not much of a shy.
No,
I'm not much of a shy guy.
I think it probably would have been worse without Aneesh.
Yeah. I'm not much of a shy man guy, you know.
All right. My question, my next question to move things along.
Yeah, move it along.
What do you think of the drugs?
Drugs?
Drugs.
What am I? What?
Yeah, just the drugs.
What do I think of the drugs? Yes. What am I supposed to say?
In movie, like what they use with the drugs as like plot points.
Oh,
and stuff.
It's a pretty ingenious plot device. Because it's something that can make her ill, that is identifiable to people, but that is like government regulated enough that she can't identify easily, kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty smart.
And
actually,
cutting off the smartphone and having the computer and everything.
Because like there were lots of other things you could have had to like
make her sick.
Exactly, to make her sick, but
like to go back to a M. Night Shyamalan movie.
No.
The girl in The Sixth Sense was being poisoned with like rat poison or something.
Rat poison. Oh yeah, I need to watch The Sixth Sense again.
It's good. I watched it around Halloween.
It's M. Night Shyamalan's best movie.
Probably. But yeah, no, I really liked what they did with like the drugs and the pharmacy scene.
I really like drugs.
I forgot to mention it when we were talking about favorite scene.
Yeah.
But the pharmacy scene is like 10 of 10.
Bro, I was so like viscerally like, no.
Right, you're so like,
bro. Good stuff.
Oh man, it's so good. Like that section of the movie specifically, from like the from the movie to like the hospital climax thing is like so good.
Yeah.
Dang it, I think I had another comment to make on something, but I can't remember.
Relating to drugs, Mike.
I can't remember. Say something while I try to remember.
The phone call scene is actually really good too. That has some really good editing as well.
Yeah.
Not to mention it's pretty funny too.
Right. Dang it, I had such a good comment to make on the movie.
Dang, the comedy's sprinkled in very tastefully, I will say. Good job. Because a lot of thrillers stop to insert a joke,
right,
rather than having the joke just happen while you're still kind of horrified.
No, yeah, it definitely makes it feel natural because, like, you know, funny things happen in real life.
Who'd have thought?
And like,
not me.
Even with like the jokes with the mother in the beginning and everything, it sets the tone more than anything. But man, I really can't remember what I was going to say.
Well, that sucks, Micah. It was going to be the peak of film dissection. It was going to be
the peak of film. That Aneesh was going to listen to this episode because he would have heard that my comment existed.
Wow. He would have become the greatest director of all time if only he had your input.
Yes.
I see.
Dang it, I don't even remember what it was about.
I was going to make a fun comment. Fun little thing.
Take it away.
Okay. This would be like the perfect double feature thing with 10 Cloverfield Lane, which he did cite as the main influence for this film.
You stole that comment from our dad.
From our dad? No, I stole it. If anything, I stole it from Aneesh Chaganty himself.
Well, he didn't hear from Aneesh Chaganty, and he was just sitting there watching it last night and was like, "So it's like 10 Cloverfield."
So it's like 10 Cloverfield. Well, I mean, it's a female-led thriller. It's a contained female-led thriller. that she's trapped inside of a building, essentially.
Though, sorry, Aneesh, I would say 10 Cloverfield Lane's better, but that's my favorite.
Slightly. Well, I mean, even he said in his little blurb about 10 Cloverfield Lane that's pretty much like perfect.
Yeah, I gave it 5 stars.
I would tend to agree. 10 Cloverfield Lane is one of the best
like
thrillers I've ever seen.
Thriller.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Dang, we haven't done it on the podcast before. Yeah, we need to get on that.
Should we do the?
sometime.
I think we should do the Cloverfield trilogy in one podcast, like we did the Spider-Man trilogy.
There's a lot to unpack. Well, not a lot to unpack with the last one, but a lot to unpack with the first two anyway.
I think there's a lot to unpack.
It can be fun.
Cloverfield Paradox.
No one cares about Cloverfield Paradox.
Jacob Suggs cares about Cloverfield
Jacob
Paradox.
Suggs cares about Rise of Skywalker too.
Dang.
Yeah. Any big discussion points? Any talking points you want to bring up?
I'm majorly thrown off by the fact that I forgot what I was going to say. I'm trying to think of something else to bring up.
Okay,
now.
well, I had something.
Then go for it.
But what did you think? We cited in our opening thoughts the third act as a big point in a lot that plagues this movie.
Well,
it destroys this movie.
It does not destroy this movie.
It was a 5 out of 5, and then when we hit the third act,
it was immediately the moment the
fell
scene
to
hit
a 1.5.
Whoa. What did I think of the third act?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to basically bring up for discussion,
Well,
like what do you think holds this back from being a 5-star movie, pretty much?
Well, what I mentioned was a lot. Like my main thing was more story structure that was bothering me and was throwing me off. And I think
anything
things
in
were,
particular?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you let me talk.
If you let me finish.
And I think maybe. Sorry. It even comes down to like overall movie pacing, not like scene to scene pacing, but like overall movie pacing. I feel like the way it's structured, it needs more to get us to where we are at the end. Like we jump, and I know a lot happens, and I feel like the stakes almost weren't earned to hit the third act, and I don't know why specifically that would be. I think a lot of it is.
I can see that.
I feel like the movie goes so fast, and I feel like that's my biggest problem with it.
It's scene one, and then like introduction to character, very broad like character introductions to the characters, and then you're in it.
Yeah,
you're
right. Like
that's
she
it.
immediately sees the pill bottle in the bag, the Kroger bag.
The Kroger bag. Whoa.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like because and I don't think it's a problem in the first 2 acts really. I mean, I'd like a little bit more setup. Like that's just my preference. But because we're going so fast and so fast and so fast to then just abruptly stop, I feel like doesn't feel super climactic. Like and I guess since we've already spoiled some stuff for it, spoilers for the ending.
Did we spoil some stuff?
Yeah, just minor things.
Oh, I guess. Yeah, we did. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Spoilers for the ending.
I'll put a spoiler alert at the top of the description.
When she gets when she gets shot in the hospital, I was like, man, like as much as I feel like, you know, it's climactic because of like Chloe's story. I feel like it's not climactic in terms of the movie, if that makes sense.
I guess I kind of see what you're saying. I don't know why your phone just had like a...
No, it does that sometimes.
What do you mean it just does that sometimes?
It just does that sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, like I feel like when she poisons herself and that gets her into the hospital, I feel like there needed to be something more in the hospital besides just her getting taken before.
Yeah, I would have liked maybe a couple, like maybe a scene or two in the hospital, maybe while she's recovering or something, which would have padded the runtime a little bit, but I think it would have been worth it. That is a good note, Micah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like, and that's my only then that's one of my only issues. Like I said, the fast paced like moving thing isn't a problem in the beginning of the movie. If anything,
Definitely
it helps.
not. No, it's so good in the beginning.
Because a lot of thrillers, like especially a lot of bad thrillers, would be taking so much time. You'd
They
be
have
like
to set up
30.
everything,
You'd be like
Micah.
30 minutes into the movie and nothing's happened, and you're like, oh my gosh. We don't care about Insidious.
Whoa. Hold up now.
Sorry, I just that's the first movie that comes to mind when I think of bad thrillers.
Hey, check out our guest episode with Haley about Insidious.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's
You lost my train of thought. And then okay, so help me remember here.
Help me recall.
Help me recall. So after that we cut to the 7 year later thing.
Yes.
And there's another
epilogue,
and
if
there's
you will.
another instance with the epilogue where I feel like we needed something else. Like, it's a cool ending.
It is a very cool ending.
Like, I love that, but I don't know. I feel like we needed something else in there, like just a little nugget, a little scene, not
Little bit of
anything
nugget.
long. I don't know what that would be.
A little info nugget.
But like, I feel like we go straight from something that I feel like isn't the most climactic that it could have been, ending to that, to then over here to 7 years later with like this kind of overall story ending.
I could see that. Yeah, no, I would tend to agree. Like that, I probably hadn't identified it just because I'm not that great of a movie critic. But I probably hadn't identified it until you mentioned it. But that's probably what is bothering me so much about the third act is just a few things feel a little under-resolved. Not
Yeah.
unresolved, but just under-resolved.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not Chloe's character arc. I think her character arc is
works.
done great.
Yeah, her arc works super good.
And
like
when
super well throughout the movie.
when she puts her foot down,
Dang, bro.
like that's great. I love that moment.
It's
That's
a good moment.
so good. But like in a story structure point of view, I feel like it could have been better.
POV, you just wrote a badly structured screenplay.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the comment I had.
It's just Sevo Hanan holding a gun to your head. No. No.
Wow, I love that. But yeah, I think that's my biggest problem with the whole thing, because really outside of that,
Honestly,
there's not a whole lot of problems.
Yeah. No, it's a good, just a big shocker here. It's a good movie.
Dude, Sevo Hanan is writing Space Jam: A New Legacy.
He is?
Yes.
Heck yeah. I can't wait, honestly. Sev, if you hear this, we love you.
Oh. All right. What about you? Do you have any other comments to?
No, I like, honestly, it's just my big comment is that people should go watch this. This is already the most watched movie on Hulu, I believe.
Yeah, Hulu released that this was their most watched movie ever, which is crazy.
Which
but
is insane,
also
yeah.
like that's awesome for the filmmakers.
But yeah, no, more people go watch it. Do it. Support not only the cast.
This didn't get a theater release like it was intended to originally.
Support Aneesh Chaganty.
Support Aneesh Chaganty.
Do it.
and
You're looking up the names again, Micah. I'm so bad at remembering
Kira
cast
Allen,
names. Yes,
because this was like.
Didn't she
second-
come off of Broadway? Didn't I read that somewhere? I believe. I don't know. I'd have to look that up. Unconfirmed.
I don't know, but she's been in like not much, because people don't really cast people in wheelchairs that much in movies. Which
Needs to change.
Cast her in something.
Evidently,
Go do it.
needs to change.
I really like her. Go cast her in something.
Because imagine if she never got cast, Micah.
Yeah, that would be.
It would
like,
be.
imagine if
it'd be a
somebody-
disservice to cinema. Is what it
Yeah,
would
no, like honestly though, if you think about like this movie, if you've watched this movie, and maybe it's just me, maybe it's just Robbie, I don't know. But if I think about this movie and then I think about it getting cast with somebody who wasn't actually in a wheelchair, I'm just kind of like, eh.
Yeah, it would just be like, eh.
I feel like it would take it down a bit.
Yeah, no, it would. It definitely would.
But yeah, I don't know. This movie, like it feels very real and very down to earth, and I feel like a lot of it is because of her.
Yeah, indeed. Well, do we want to wrap up our thoughts in a nice little bow, Micah?
Yeah, I feel like bringing out the bows is very, very good.
So I guess since you opened your... Oh, yeah,
No, since I opened every other segment.
yeah.
Maybe we should keep it a trend. Maybe I should open this segment too.
All right, closing thoughts.
Maybe, no. I think I should do my closing thoughts first.
You can do it if you want.
Okay.
Do it.
All right. So, Run, the 2020 thriller, is really good. Probably, I think the reason I gave it 4 stars and not something like 4.5 like I would give Searching is because of how short it is. A big like structural like mistake in my opinion. Like some people may disagree and that's fine. But like we just talked about, brings the overall movie down enough because it's so short and there's so little there, enough that I wouldn't give it 4.5. But outside of that, almost everything with this movie is like top tier for thrillers, especially. The cast works amazingly well. It feels super down to earth. The direction is great. The production design is good. The editing is great. Like, it constantly keeps you interesting, and and I was worried about this because a lot of thrillers on my second watch don't keep me very thrilled, I guess. And this actually did keep a lot of the tension, which is a sign that it's actually a good thriller. And I don't know, like this has got a good enough lead and a good enough story, and it's short enough that I would definitely come back and watch this again, not just for the podcast, which I can't say for a lot of the movies we do on the podcast.
Yeah.
Overall, go watch it. It's good. Go support Aneesh Chaganty. Go support Kira Allen. Go support Sev and his Space Jam dreams.
Space Jam screenplay.
Yeah.
Do it.
Very good.
Yes.
Take it away.
Like I said, this is number 5 on my top 10 of 2020, which I hold the top 5 in a very, very high regard.
Well, I don't if Onward is in the top 3.
I was about to say Invisible Man
I don't,
is my number 1, Boys State, Onward, and then His House.
Onward being in there is kind of
if you listen to our His House episode, you know how much I like His House.
Which also go watch His House. Go listen to the episode because it's doing really poorly because I feel like nobody's going to watch His House.
More diverse thrillers, please.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. 2020's winning, Micah.
Right? No, honestly. And more new directors because His House was a directorial debut.
More debuts.
Aneesh Chaganty, this was his second.
This was sophomore film. Not a bad entry. But yeah, no. Like I said, one of my favorites of the year, and not without reason. It's just really... Oh, no. Micah just showed me a very sad fact, which we will get to later. Yeah, no, one of my favorites of the year. Go watch it, please. It's got such a solid... It not only executes its concept in a very solid way, it's just very, very solid overall.
It's fun.
It's a fun movie, too, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, it's like I said, it's shorter... Go watch this with your not too young family.
Exactly. If they are down for a PG-13 movie, do it.
Yeah, because this is a lot of fun.
Indeed. Yeah. So there you go.
All right, there we go.
There we go.
We have talked about Run 2020. Now we're out of the podcasting business forever.
We're out of the podcasting business for good. Say goodbye.
No season 3.
No season 3.
Forget season 3. It's done. It's over.
Forget season. There never has been a season 3. Well, actually, we recorded it before we even made season 1.
Yeah.
But it was just to build anticipation.
We recorded season 3 and then season 1 and then season 2.
Yep.
Amazing. All right.
All right.
Let's go over what we watched. All right, so for those of you who don't know, what we watched
for the uninitiated,
the What We Watched segment is where we go over we run over to the good old platform known as Letterboxd.
Heck yeah, we do.
And we briefly talk about all the movies we logged over the week, or rather 2 weeks since we took
this is a lot.
A week break.
I was half tempted, if I didn't want to talk about Run so much, I was half tempted to do a What We Watched episode.
No, I wouldn't have done a What We Watched stuff of this.
All right. Well, anyway,
I would have complained. I would have protested.
Well, we got Jim Henson's Turkey Hollow on the 23rd as our last episode,
which is a major L of a movie.
Yeah. Go listen to our episode about it. We're almost at 1,000
Almost at 1,000 on YouTube, which is insane.
Which is dumb.
Also,
Why are
if
you guys
listen,
listening to it?
Also, if you listen, guys, subscribe. We have like 18 subscribers on YouTube.
I was about to say, my personal channel, my personal channel that I have released one video on has more subscribers than our podcast.
Yeah, go subscribe to our podcast on YouTube. I mean, I'd rather you listen on something else because that gets us.
We actually get money that way. Yeah,
but like subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, at least subscribe. Like, you don't have to listen on there, but at least subscribe. Come on, guys.
All right, we're gonna do a bit of a speedy round.
Yeah, because we watched a bunch of stuff.
We watched a lot of stuff, especially because of certain things for my channel that's happening this month.
Okay. What did we watch directly after Turkey Hollow, Micah?
Boom. 23rd SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
You need to do an episode on this someday.
3.5 stars. So good.
It's so good. One of my favorite comedies, honestly.
It's like as an adaptation, as the first movie adaptation of a 23-minute 2-part TV show. Very, very good.
Oh,
and if
yeah. No,
somebody calls it bad, go watch season 1 through 4 of SpongeBob again.
Bro, there's almost nothing holding it back from being like a 4.5, honestly.
What? I don't know about that. 3.5, I think, is good. Then we watched The Cat in the Hat.
The Cat in the Hat.
To really keep on that vibe of movie.
Another directorial debut.
Heck yeah, Bo Welch, more like
my hero.
Needs to direct more.
More like one of the greats, one of the legends.
Oh man, only directed this.
This is unironically good.
Bo Welch, come back.
You guys need to watch this.
3 stars. I do actually think it's like a genuinely good movie.
It's a genuinely good movie.
It's not great, but it's good.
I think it deserves a 3.5 or a 4, honestly. But that's just me.
Yeah. Anyway, next I watched for the first time Heavyweights. It's the old 90s comedy. With I think it's Disney, maybe, I don't know.
Disney.
It's got Ben Stiller, and it's a little sometimes with some of its comedy, but it usually stays pretty okay. And it's Ben Stiller was amazing as the villain of this.
Wow. Well, there you go.
I gave it 3 stars.
I watched. What day was that?
That was the 24th.
Okay, yeah. Also on the 24th, I watched, separate from Micah, for the first time, Carnival of Souls. Which was very good. I did watch it in the car though, so I didn't get to hear all of the organ music in its full.
Sucks because it's got a really good score.
Exactly.
And everything.
No. I want to rewatch it. Like the fact that I didn't hear all of, the fact that I didn't get a full experience that I would want, and I still loved it, is a testament to how good it is.
It's a good movie.
You guys need to go watch Carnival of Souls.
I watched it before him, and I was like, dang, this is good. You would like this.
Yeah.
All right,
good
then
stuff.
On the 25th, what did you watch, Robbie?
Did you not watch it with me?
No.
Oh, right. We watched the favorite movie of all Lindsay Ellis fans outside of the Transformers movies.
It's true. It's very true.
The Great Mouse Detective.
Exactly. Red again, more like I need more of that in my life.
More like We Stand. But yeah, I hadn't watched this since I was like 8 or something, so
I definitely would have watched it, by the way, guys. I just was working on video stuff that was very stressful and very annoying because I had to re-upload like 5 times.
But yeah, no, fun movie. Not like blow your mind good, but not bad. It's a fun movie.
Which, speaking of which, that video that I was trying so desperately to get out is out right now. It's about Over the Garden Wall.
Oh yeah, I still haven't watched it.
It's one of my favorite videos I've done, so go watch that. M. Grayway Films on YouTube.
It's in the description.
It's a video essay on Over the Garden Wall. It's very cool, very informative about Over the Garden Wall.
Well, there you go. And then after I watched Carnival of Souls,
we watched the literal cinematic masterpiece that is Over the Hedge,
otherwise known as the Verminator movie.
Like literally, I know like 2 people who don't like this movie. It's so good.
It's actually pretty fun. I knew it was kind of cringe and kind of bad when I was a kid,
but it's fun,
and it's still it's still fun though.
It's still not like great by any means.
No.
I gave it 3.5 though.
I probably would have given it a 3 if I had rated it.
I gave it a review. I said, no, this may just be the insane amount of nostalgia speaking, but cinema.
I was about to say, this is one of the movies we watched like over and over again as when we were younger.
Yeah.
And it's still fun. So right, I see it as a win.
Next I watched, unless you watched something from the 25th to the 28th.
No, I didn't.
All right. Next I watched Edge of Tomorrow. Which was a first time watch for me. I'd been really wanting to watch it
Edge of Tomorrow
for a while because I like Tom Cruise, I like Emily Blunt, I like manga, and
I like a manga.
I don't really like live action adaptations of this, but because it wasn't trying to be super faithful, it actually pulled that off pretty well.
No spoilers, Micah. I haven't seen it.
I wasn't gonna spoil anything.
Okay.
It's really fun. It's not as good as it was hyped up to be by a lot of people. It wasn't like a masterpiece in my opinion, but maybe that was just on first watch.
Better than Groundhog Day?
Better than Groundhog Day.
Whoa.
I gave it 4 stars.
I thought you said it wasn't a masterpiece.
I don't like Groundhog Day that much.
I don't know why you don't like Groundhog Day. It's a really good. It's got such a good screenplay.
I gave it 4 stars. And later that very same night.
What did you watch, Micah?
I finished Muppets Treasure Island because I actually watched it over 3 nights at like 3 a.m.
Wow.
But yeah, 3 a.m. is the perfect time to watch Muppets Treasure Island.
Wow.
It becomes like 30 times more funny.
But it already is funny.
It is already funny. I actually really like this movie. I always have.
I've only seen it like once.
I've always liked pirates. The Treasure Island story is meh, but I've always liked pirates. I've always liked the Muppets. So yeah, I give it 3.5 stars.
It's a good movie, but is it a good Treasure Island movie?
Then we were at family and we didn't really watch any movies for a while.
I watched on the 29th. I rewatched, I should say, Ratatouille while we were in the car.
Oh yeah.
And we should do an episode on Ratatouille sometime because it's so good. And I'll stand by that.
I will stand by that as well. Are you going to talk about the shorts that you watched on the first? Because I didn't watch
Oh,
them.
yeah, sure. We watched... Sure. Yeah, no, my blood sugar is dropping. I'm going to start stuttering if I'm not careful. But yeah, we watched on the first, If Anything Happens, I Love You, which is a Netflix original short, animated, by the way.
Much sad.
Very sad, many tears. Yeah, go watch it. Good stuff. Some solid stuff, Micah.
Some solid
direction.
filmmaking, but I wouldn't watch
definitely
it.
some solid filmmaking.
Like that's my thing with that. Like, yeah, sure, it's well made, but I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't have purposefully turned that on.
Dang. And then after that, we watched. I don't think this was a Netflix original. I don't remember. No, okay, it's not a Netflix original, but
2020 short.
It's a 2020 short, Alien Xmas, about a little alien who learns the true meaning of Christmas.
He learns to not be greedy.
But it's a claymation short, which is very cool to see. It looks really good. It's really good. I would recommend it to people.
The claymation looks good, but outside of that,
how dare you, Micah? How dare you? It's a little rough, but it's not. It's pretty good.
Anyway, we need to.
Yes,
we need to put along still. On the 2nd, the
2nd of December.
We watched the 2nd of December. We watched Toy Story 2. First time in forever. Way better than I remembered. Probably one of the best sequels I've ever seen. I gave it 4.5 stars.
Yeah, no. Least favorite is Child is now my favorite Toy Story movie. The screenplay is just perfection, I think.
Later that very same day, I tried to convince Robbie that Road to El Dorado is in fact good.
It's not,
and it is. And it is. I gave it 4 stars. It's actually a good movie, Robbie. Everybody likes this movie, but you. I don't know what your problem is.
The only good part about this movie is 1, the animation, and 2, their dynamic. The two main characters' dynamics, and that's it.
You suck.
That's the only good stuff.
Go watch Spread Sword's video on it, Robbie.
Okay, I'll do it.
Then later that very same day.
Oh gosh.
We watched The Invisible Man.
Oh wait. No. Oh, that's right. I have them mixed up. Right. Okay.
I watched The Invisible Man
for the first time. Yeah,
it was very
2020.
Good.
My favorite movie of the year now.
It's definitely not my favorite movie of the year. I thought the ending was kind of underwhelming, but the filmmaking was very good.
Holy cannoli.
I liked the characters and the performances in it. I would talk about this one on the podcast. I'd do it.
Heck yeah. Bit of a warning to the listeners, this one's rated R, in case you wanted to check it out. But yeah, no. Good stuff. Really good stuff. My favorite of the year.
4 stars. Not that great, but still
We
good.
need to discuss it in full sometime.
All right. Then we watched Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, but No Good, Very Bad Day. This was a rewatch. We actually sadly watched this in theaters.
This is actually a pretty terrible, horrible, no good,
bad movie.
Pretty bad movie.
The only good part is Donald Glover and his video game company.
I would pay money to go to go see a movie that's just
No,
Donald Glover
are
trying
you-
to find someone to fill a position
Are
at
you
his
kidding?
gaming company.
Yeah, like no, like literally, not even making the game, but just Donald Glover going around interviewing people for a game company, like he is in this movie. I would watch it. It would be a 5 of 5.
I will say, in this movie's defense, it has the wholesome points to an extent, not very much,
Yeah.
but that's about it.
Yeah, I gave it 1 star. Very wholesome when the daughter gets high.
Yeah.
Next, unless you didn't watch, I don't think we watched.
No,
anything
yeah,
without
we've
each
watched
other.
everything together the past few days.
Then we watched Toy Story, and if you noticed, this was the second Pixar movie, and this may or may not be for a video that I'm preparing to do on my YouTube channel.
May or may not be.
Embrace Films on YouTube. Go watch, subscribe, and share with your friends.
Yeah, Toy Story, it's good.
It's good.
Everyone knows it's good.
It's like, I'd say it's on equal footing with 2, but I actually ended up liking 2 a little better this time round. I also gave it 4.5 stars.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I gave Alexander 1 star.
All right.
Then what did we watch?
We watched Double World,
Double World.
a 2020 movie. I forgot this was 2020.
Yeah. A Chinese 2020 movie.
It's fine, I guess.
It's not great.
Not good.
It's not bad, but it's fine. I gave it an extra half star from what it probably deserves, just because I really.
Yeah, you do. You did.
I enjoyed it. I probably would never watch it again.
No, I would never watch this again.
It's got a lot of structure problems. It's got a lot of pacing problems. It's got a lot of story problems.
If you are into
The action's pretty sick,
yeah, if
though.
you're into like fantasy movies with this has a dragon in it, I guess.
Yeah. He actually looks really good in movie.
No,
Not
the
on the
dragon
poster.
does look
the
pretty
poster
good,
he looks ugly. I don't know why he looks like that on the poster.
It's a pretty cool poster.
I hate
actually.
this poster. I think it's
What?
really ugly.
It's a little too chaotic, but
Why is it so blue and red? That's not the color scheme used in the movie at all.
yeah, but it's a cool looking poster, Mike. But anyway, after that we watched A Bug's Life.
I gave Double World 3 stars. Then we watched A Bug's Life.
After you gave it 3 stars, you watched A Bug's Life.
Which as I remembered, A Bug's Life really just isn't the Pixar movie for me. It's probably one of my least favorite. It's not bad,
Aw.
but it's not like to the tier level of most other Pixar movies.
It's not as bad as some Pixar sequels.
Yeah, no, it's not as bad as some other Pixar movies. Don't get me wrong. There's much worse in the Pixar repertoire.
Heck yeah. But it's pretty fun. Funnier than I remember it being too.
Yeah, no, there's a lot more comedy in a lot of Pixar movies than I remember now that
Yeah.
I'm older, because like I get some of it now that I didn't before.
We were just dumb, Micah. We were just dumb when we were younger.
I gave it 3 stars. Next we watched Jurassic World Fallen
Park.
Kingdom.
I mean Jurassic World.
Which I think my review sums this up pretty well. Like not all the problems with
Okay.
it, but like in my opinion, the overall problem with Jurassic World stuff. They introduce so many cool ideas, so many interesting things to explore, and do the literal bare minimum with them each movie.
Yep, that about sums it up.
Like this movie kills me because they introduce so many cool ideas, and then they're just like, yeah. There they were.
There it is. There's that idea.
And I'm like, what?
No. Yeah.
Not very good.
Fallen Kingdom might be my least favorite Jurassic Park movie.
It's probably my least favorite Jurassic Park movie. I give it 2.5. While it's still not like awful to get through, it's not.
It's
good.
watchable, I guess.
Yeah.
Then we watched my favorite anime.
Heck yeah, the best anime.
The best anime.
Buzz Lightyear of Star Command: The Adventure Begins.
What a good time.
So good. Like,
I was worried childhood nostalgia had blinded me to
right,
this.
if you don't know
but
about this is like a 2D Buzz Lightyear movie, like actual feature-length movie.
takes place in the Toy Story universe.
Yeah, it takes place in the Toy
exists
Story
in
universe.
the Toy Story universe.
It's like an in-universe movie. They find this movie in the Toy Story universe and play it. And it's not perfect by far, but it's so fun.
It really is.
And I wish we had a better copy than VHS, because this animation would look so slick.
It really would.
Which is crazy coming from a studio that's never done a 2D animated movie outside of this.
But yeah, the comedy in this is literal like comedy gold, I think.
Right.
Zurg in this
Zurg
is so
Zurg
freaking
is
funny
amazing.
the entire time.
It's great. I give
Go
it
watch
3.5
it.
stars.
If you have never had the privilege of watching Buzz Lightyear,
Unfortunately, you can't find it anywhere. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't stream anywhere. You'd have to buy it.
you need to.
But
go
you know,
buy
it's
it.
worth a
It's
buy.
worth buying it. Yeah.
I would buy this.
Even if you're not a Toy Story fan,
Yeah.
go buy this. It's good.
All right, then we watched Monsters Inc., which Monsters Inc. is very good.
One of my favorite Pixar
but it's
movies.
not really my cup of tea.
Maybe
I
my
think
favorite.
it has some structure problems too. I give it 4
A
stars.
few, yeah. I'm willing to overlook it.
I gave it 4 stars. It's still very good.
Yes, very good.
Then we watched Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo.
Do you guys see a trend? Which was also good, but also a little bit worse than Monsters Inc., but I still gave it 4 stars. It's got even worse structure problems than Monsters Inc. That third act is rough.
Oh man, yeah. But it's still fun.
Yeah, no, it's still up there for like more like mid top tier Pixar for me.
I'm still not of the opinion that most Pixar movies are like masterpiece level.
But
I
they
know
have a lot
some
of
I know
fun
some
movies.
people like that, yeah.
Yeah, no, especially.
But
now
I've
that-
always
now-
had trouble getting on board with Finding Nemo.
Yeah, Finding Nemo was never. I was never a fan of it like when I was younger, but I actually really like. I appreciated it a lot more now, especially.
Yeah, no, it's got some good screenplay stuff.
Especially with what they did with like world building and stuff.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, especially like now, like with recent Pixar and everything, if you look through all of their new movies and everything and their overall movies, and if you think they all have like it's all masterpieces.
Well,
I
not
have
all
some-
of them, obviously.
I have some problems.
I don't think anyone's gonna say all of them.
But yeah, and with Finding Nemo, that was actually
it,
the
yeah.
last thing we watched before Run.
Heck yeah. But yeah, no. It's been a long 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a lot of movies anyway. Been pumping out the movies.
Yeah. It was good times. Good
Yeah,
times.
no, we had a good Thanksgiving, and I hope you guys did too.
Yeah.
Hope you all 800 listeners enjoyed Turkey Hollow.
Turkey Hollow. What the heck? The Turkey Hollow episode wasn't even that good, guys.
Right?
Why does it have so many
Go
dang
listen to our
views?
good episodes.
But yeah, no. Oh wow, we got like 1 hour to edit and release this, so we're gonna see you guys next week with probably a Christmas movie, more than likely.
Probably, and we'll see you guys in an hour.
Yeah, I was about to say we were gonna publish this thing in an hour, so we'll see you then. Good, adios, goodbye,
Goodbye.
farewell.
Bye.